This is Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by the Commonwealth super-flyweight champion, Emma Dolan. Yeah, she's loving it. Look, how's it going? You getting used to being introduced in such fashion now?
Yeah. I was expecting a bit of a better introduction, but that'll do. That'll be all right.
I'll give old Diamante a call.
Yeah, that's it. Get him in for the interview.
Interview. Yeah. All right. Well, maybe next time. You should like that. There's a bit of a delay there, but I'll take the laugh. Yeah, so you were supposed to be not only defending that title, but potentially adding the British title, the first ever women's British super flyweight title to the collection on February the 10th, a couple of weeks ago. But that did not take place as planned against Shannon Ryan. Just tell us why it had to be postponed.
Yeah, I had a very bad chest infection. I was, to be fair, I was training through the whole camp with a bit of a cough or whatever, but that was fine. Sort of going through getting through it, getting it done as you do, and then it all just come on top of me. Really, I got a really bad chest infection, couldn't breathe at times, got given an inhaler and antibiotics off the doctor, and it really hit me hard, sort of thing. I've only just got back in the gym now, so I couldn't do my basic training, so there's no way I could have gone along and boxed with it. But that's it. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm looking forward to getting the fight over the line a little bit later in the year.
It's taken you a while to gain momentum since you turned pro. Finally, win the Commonwealth title. You're about to fight for the British. Couldn't have happened at a worse time in that sense. How did you feel when you realised you'd have to postpone the fight?
I was in two moods. Like, I knew I wasn't 100% in training anyway, but I was sort of getting it done. That's how I am. But when I got that ill, I was that ill that I couldn't train anyway. That it was like not a hard decision for me, because if I can't get my training, then there's no way I can fight. I'm happy to push through most things, but that really did set me back a lot. So yeah, it wasn't a hard decision, and I knew the board it sort of sanctioned the fight, so I knew it was going to happen. So yeah, it's just delayed, not denied.
How did you feel when you found out the fight Shannon was going to take in the interim? Because although she got through it, and we know that now, it looked like quite a risky one on paper.
Yeah, on paper, I think it looked risky. I did have a feeling Shannon would come through that fight. To be honest with you, and it's not knocking Jasmina, because good fighter in that, but I thought Shannon was going to come through that a little bit easier than she did. But it was quite a tough one for her. So yeah.
Yeah, Jasmina came on very strong in the second half of the fight. I think Shannon hadn't been that long before, but sustained a cut as well towards the end. That must have been was that a good thing in a way for you, and that it gives you a bit of extra time to recover from the chest infection, or was it just another issue?
No, it's just one of them things, isn't it? It's boxing, I would have been ready. I think they were looking at April. Obviously with the cut, it might probably now be May. But I'm back in the gym now anyway, so whenever I get the call in next month or whatever, I'll be there. I'll be ready.
What did you make of, you said you thought it'd be easier for her. What did you make of Shannon's performance overall, seeing her over that longer distance?
Oh, I said myself, I knew in my own head when I got the fight sort of through, that when she's in there with a bit more of a live opponent, you see a difference in her performance. And I think it proved that on the night when she fought Jasmina. There's levels to it, isn't there? And there's differences. Everybody can look great in front of people there who are just paid to turn up. When you're in there with a little bit of a live opponent, it's a different story, isn't it? So, she done well when she come across. She done well and she got over the cut and everything. And yeah, it's all sorted for our fight now.
Do you think it's kind of a benefit for her that she's had that 10 rounds under her belt in advance of fighting you, because you've got that much greater amateur pedigree?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the girls spar 10 rounds in training and everything like that. So, it could be an advantage to her. If she wants to take that as an advantage, she can do. But I think she should look at her performance and think, right, this is where we've got to improve in a few different areas. And then, that will help her, sort of thing. But I don't think it'll make much difference on the night when she fights me, because I know I've got a number and I know what I bring to the table, and I can't wait for it.
Before we talk about the fight itself, what does the British title aspect of it mean to you? Because obviously that wouldn't have been something that was available for women when you were first getting into the sport. So there's a chance also to make history and becoming the first at that weight.
Yeah, massively. I mean, I was the first super flyweight female Commonwealth champion. I'm going to be the first super flyweight female British champion. So, that's what my eyes are on, and that's what I'm looking towards. It's a massive belt. I mean, I love the British title. Some of the best fights are British title fights, aren't they? You never really see a bad British title fight, and I think it's a very cool belt. I've always wanted to have it, and like you say, it's only just come to fruition for women's boxing. So, I'm looking forward to being part of it.
Are you surprised her team have taken this risk?
No, I think they back their girl and they're confident in themselves, but I don't think they realise, what I have to offer. But they will do on fight night, so we'll see, won't we?
But then there's plenty of GB people in the kind of Matchroom side of things in that stable. You think they'd have an idea of your pedigree?
Yeah, you think, but you see it all the time. It's oversights, isn't it? And that's up to them, isn't it? If they want to overlook me, they can do, but they'll come unstuck.
Is that extra motivation?
Always, always. A fight you can get your teeth into as well. Like, every time I step up in opposition, I get better. So I can't wait for it.
And what about longer term? Should all go well on the rescheduled date? Is it straight on to world titles from there? Because there isn't the same depth as there is in the men's side of the sport. Would you skip the kind of European level?
Well, as with a Matchroom fight, you've got to fight them twice to get the win, really, haven't you? Because they'll give her a rematch probably. But yeah, getting through them, then it's one of them, isn't it? Like, I'm happy to fight whatever fight's right next. If it's Lauren Parker for the European, then so be it. If not, straight through for the world titles and see where we're at.
I suppose the plus side of that is you'd get a decent purse 2 fights in a row.
Yeah, that's
Assuming it is a decent purse, I mean, they want to make assumptions, but
yeah. Well, coming off the small hall shows, at least you're making a bit of a profit now, So yeah.
What's it been like kind of building on the small hall circuit? Because you came from, as I said, GB, where they look after you to an extent. You get a stipend, you get all your, strength and conditioning, everything in-house as well. So you don't have those extra expenses. You put up there as well. What's it been like going from that to having to build your own fan base on the pro circuit, on the small hall, and probably losing money?
Yeah, well, I was on the England team. I wasn't on the GB team. I wasn't.
Sorry.
But I'd still got the same sort of experience now, obviously at a lesser time. But it was still brilliant experience and something I pushed through with my amateur career. Going from that and then obviously stepping into the small hall scene, it was hard, but it's been good, and it's not something I would change because it's made me so hungry. You've had to sell tickets, you've had to graft hard, you'd have to get yourself in a position where you can afford to fight, to make sure you can pay your opponent, all that kind of stuff, and alongside training and all that kind of stuff, where a lot of the girls who've sort of been given their golden ticket straight onto the platforms haven't had to do any of that. So I know I'll work twice as hard when I'm in there and to get up there as well. So,
any kind of envy or resentment about the people you just mentioned, kind of having it handed to them?
No, not at all. Like, boxing's boxing, isn't it? And like I say, I wouldn't change my journey. So I'm happy with how things have gone in my career. Pardon me. And I know where I'm going to be going in the future. And I know everything I've been doing is leading up to this moment. Everything's for a reason, isn't it? So they're on their path, I'm on my path. But if they're in my way, then I'm going to go through them.
Shannon's obviously a big fight at domestic level. You've both got a certain amount of name recognition. As you go up the levels in terms of world titles, what are the big fights for you? What are the ones that are going to, make people take notice, be on TV and so on?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to try and pronounce any of their names, so I don't want to. But you've got the Japanese girl. She's probably similar to myself and Shannon. I think she's only had 6 or 7 fights. She's a sort of boxer mover stylistically, and then the rest of them, Gonzalez and I think Juarez, I think they're all sort of Mexicans, so they're all going to come in and have a tear up. Probably be a bit more entertaining to watch. But yeah, I'm up for any of them. I think obviously Lauren Parker fight would be a big fight. She's not on a platform yet either, which I respect her because she's had to work hard to get in the situation she's in as well. Putting her own money and that into the purse and everything. But I think that would be a big fight. Obviously, the job at hand at the minute is Shannon, and that's what we need to get through.
What about in the future going up through the weights? Because when you get to bantam, super bantam, there's more local or British at least fighters that you could have massive fights against.
Yeah, with my height, I mean, 5'5". When I carry the weight well, like I could move up at some point. Go up to bantam and see where we're at, and go up to possibly super bantamweight. Because we've got the height and reach and everything for it. But obviously, I'm focusing on super flyweight at the minute. I want to, get the belts there, clear up, and see where we're at. But yeah, no, definitely. If the right fights come up at bantamweight, then that's something that we'd look at. But my eyes are here at super flyweight at the minute.
And the kind of biggest female fight coming up that's got a date, so we're not talking about yours, is Katie Taylor's third fight with Chantel Cameron. How do you kind of weigh that up, especially in light of the recent news that Chantel's changed gyms recently?
Yeah, I found that really interesting. She changed gyms because obviously she's probably at the back end of her career now. She's got a few fights left, I presume. To change gyms this late on is, it's an interesting one. But she might just need something to freshen up. A bit of a freshen up, a bit of a change up. Yeah, I think Chantel, when she boxed Kate the first time, stylistically, it was a very good way to box her. Just keep that constant sort of pressure on. The second fight, she kind of let Katie work a little bit too much, didn't she? She's loading up a bit, looking for the stoppage. I feel Katie might be able to pull it off again if Chantel's caught in between changing styles and she's not quite delivering either style. Then Katie might be able to pull the win out of the bag again. But you can never say. There've been 2 good fights so far. So yeah.
How much have you looked up to someone like Katie Taylor? Is she someone as you were progressing through the ranks at England team and boxing as an amateur, was she someone you looked up to then?
Yeah, massively. I mean, Katie Taylor, she's female boxing, really, isn't she? She's the one who's brought it to the Olympics. She's the one who brought it to the professionals, and she's still, serving now. So, you can't knock Katie. But then there's a whole batch of women coming through now that you can take admiration for. I mean, Chantel Cameron being one of them, Michaela Meyer, Natasha Jonas. They're all paving the way. They're all doing really well. Hannah Rankin. They're all up there at the top, aren't they? And they're all paving the way. So, obviously, my mate Ellie Scottney, she's doing well.
You nearly missed her out, didn't you?
She's clearing up, but yeah, they're all doing really well.
I was just about getting ready to send a text then to say, she listed all her idols and she missed you out. That would have been.
Yeah, no, she's smashing it, isn't she? She can be two-time champion now, isn't she?
Yeah, so she's trying to unify in her next fight, which is at Manchester. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. Yeah, so who do you talked about some of the female champions at the moment, but who do you kind of look up to currently, even male or female, and you kind of take elements of their style?
Yeah, I mean, obviously having David in the gym, watching like his fights and that. I think it was 2 years since he beat Josh Kelly the other day. It was a fantastic performance. And watching him when he's down training and stuff, he's an inspiration. But obviously I watch the man who beat him as well, to be fair. He's one of the best fighters on the planet, Terence Crawford. He's an unbelievable style. He's got that kind of long style as well. We can work from long to short range as well, which is interesting to watch. But I like to watch a bit of everybody. There's a lot of good fighters in the mix at the minute, especially in the sort of lightweight division, in the smaller weights. But they're showing the big boys up, really, aren't they?
What do you make of Crawford potentially going up to 168 to fight Canelo?
Yeah, I think it's too big of a jump. I think it showed that, like, when Canelo went up to fight Bivol, it's not like Canelo's not as good as Bivol. It's just he's too big for him, And I think it'll be the same thing with Crawford going up to Canelo's weight. If they're both, maybe at middleweight, but going up to super middleweight when you're a welter coming up from lightweight, I think it's just too big of a jump. And I think Canelo probably get on top of him, to be honest.
Just before I let you go, just tell people out there they can find you on different social media platforms. They can get to know you a bit more before the fight.
Get to know me or give me a bit of hate or something.
Both, yeah, why not?
Emma_Dolan 21 on Twitter and Instagram. So
is that wistfully wishing you were still 21? Just never changed it.
That's it. And my birthday's on the 21st of May.
Ah, okay. And how old will you be then? That's not far away. That could be around the fight.
Get the card in the post. I'll be 26, so still a young pup.
Yeah, no money in the card, just the card.
Yeah.
That could be near the fight then, couldn't it? I suppose they're looking at mid-May.
Yeah, possibly.
Nice birthday present. First ever British super flyweight champion.
That'll do, won't it?
That will do indeed. Emma, really appreciate your time as always. And yeah, best of luck. Hope you get a new date in the diary soon. And we're all looking forward to the fight.
Thanks, Danny. Speak soon.
All right.